What is up, guys? It is Carly here, bringing you day number 9 of my 31 Days of Horror 2025. And today I'm going to be talking about a different type of movie, not the same as the typical monster movies that I've talked about the last several days. And that is The Terror from the year, I think it's 1963, I want to say. Yes, The Terror. Again, this is one of those collection sets, but that's actually the cover right there, and of course, it's right here on the back. And this movie actually stars Jack Nicholson as well as Boris Karloff, which is a weird pairing. You never really think, well, at least I don't, like, oh, those two existed together at the same time and were able to do a movie together. I think Boris Karloff was like 50 or 60 years older than Jack Nicholson. But yeah, so basically, this movie follows this young soldier played by Jack Nicholson who got separated from his unit. He's riding a horse and you can tell it's really hot outside. He's on like the coast. Riding along, and he starts to get really faint and dizzy and falls off the horse because he's just been riding lost for quite a while with no food or water. So when that happens, he gets up and happens upon this beautiful woman named Helene and asks her for drinking water. She runs away and leads him to water. And he tries to thank her and stuff, but she keeps like running away and kind of taking him to weird areas. And then he winds up at this basically a castle with this baron in it, played by Boris Karloff, and kind of explains that he's looking for this girl. And then the dude's like, this girl, and points to a picture of a girl from like 20 years ago that looks just like the girl and says that she has passed away. So, yeah, then the movie kind of goes from there. It's just Jack Nicholson trying to figure out what is really going on here, because it seems like the Baron guy might know more than he's letting on, and he's just like, well, who's this girl? Because I'm not crazy, and all that fun stuff. So, yeah, first thing I could say about this movie is it's very trippy seeing Jack Nicholson this young. I think he was actually like 26 or 27. I was doing the math, and which would be younger than I am now, which is sickening. But yeah, it's very weird seeing him. I've not really seen a whole lot of Jack Nicholson films, honestly, besides The Shining, being, of course, my favorite of all time. But this came out, 17 years prior to that, and yeah, he's very young, but he still has that crazy Jack Nicholson look to him, he just has those, eyebrows that are very weirdly arched that makes him look like a Joker, which he, of course, played. But yeah, it was odd seeing him in this type of role, but I dug it. I think he did a good job, of course. He's always been a very talented actor. Same with Boris Karloff. It was nice to see him in, of course, a later role, because I believe he passed away this decade, 1968, I want to say. I just looked it up. So just a few years after this, he did pass away, but he's good in it. I was reading that apparently they only had 2 days to shoot with him, so making this movie was kind of hard, and it was an independent production, and it was just, there was a lot of issues with it, but overall, I like the atmosphere. It takes place in like 1806, and I'm sure you guys know by now, I'm not a big fan of period pieces, but it kind of works for this type of movie. I did like the setting. I like the just castle look and stuff. Reminds you a lot of like Dracula or something, an old Universal type film. But yeah, it wasn't like overly creepy or anything like that. There's some sort of like, you think like paranormal, demonic-y type stuff going on, but it's not very over the top or anything. It's kind of just like a, almost, a ghost trying to get its revenge or comeuppance, whatever you want to say, type of story. But, yeah, not a whole lot of horror or anything like that, but it was still interesting to watch. And yeah, like I said, the performances are all good. There were points where the story, I kind of got a little confused on what was going on, because it is one of those confusing stories where the character himself is trying to figure out what's going on. But, by the end, it does all kind of come together, and, you feel like you understand it. So overall, and also this one runs 78 minutes. So again, it's not overly long, doesn't overstay its welcome, but overall, I dug it. You know, I probably wouldn't run back and watch it again anytime soon, but I thought it was good for what it was, and I just like the set design, the atmosphere. You know, like I said, it's like there's beach and coastal stuff, and it's just really pretty and kind of visceral at times. So I dug it for that pretty much alone. I would give this one a 6.5 out of 10. Like I said, not something I'm going to rush back to, but I thought it was pretty solid for the type of movie it was. And yeah, it was interesting again to see Jack Nicholson and Boris Karloff in a movie together. Sorry guys, I can't really talk. I bit my tongue really hard the other day and I've been like slurring my words. So anyway, but yeah, The Terror, 6.5 out of 10. Thank you guys once again for joining me here on day number 9 of my 31 Days of Horror 2025. And I'll see you tomorrow for day number 10.